Fresh from a victory this week in a civil case against the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Dontrell Stevens will have to make his case next in the Florida Legislature. By law, it has to approve the multi-million-dollar jury award in the case of the paralyzed man. Stevens sued PBSO and the deputy who shot him, leaving him paralyzed. Today, News Channel 5's Brian Inton spoke to a woman who understands what he may be facing now and has advice for Stevens and his supporters. Brian.
Michael, 58-year-old Laura Laporte is one of the very few who knows a lot about the fight Dontrell Stevens is about to embark on. She spent almost a decade trying to get the Florida Legislature to approve her $5 million settlement, and in the end, she won. Surrounded by exotic animals on her farm outside Sebastian,
this is my rehab.
Laura Laporte is wheelchair-bound, stuck inside her home.
As they say, Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Well, I fell off the wall, but Humpty Dumpty put me back together again.
Laura doesn't know Dontrell Stevens, but she's followed his story, and she knows what he'll go through trying to collect his $23 million.
I would say to him right now not to count his chickens before they hatch, and that he's in for a long, hard row.
If anyone understands, it's Laura.
I'm here for the fight. I said, I'm going to get my money.
She fought 9 years.
And I was awarded $5.5 million, but I didn't get that.
After a Florida Department of Agriculture worker hit Laura in her minivan back in 1999. Do you remember it?
Oh, yes. I remember it very clearly. Broken right foot, right ankle, left ankle, femur, hip, and pelvic. Ruptured my spleen and damaged my kidneys.
A civil trial ended with a multi-million-dollar verdict in her favor.
It was a big, long nightmare.
But the fight was just beginning because of sovereign immunity. Just like in Dontrell's case, that's when the law says the government doesn't have to pay.
And I went to Tallahassee. I met every senator. I met every House of Representatives,
begging lawmakers to pass a bill so she could finally get the money she desperately needed.
I think I had to fight the fight, and they had to know who I was.
Almost a decade later, the bill finally passed. This is her advice for Dontrell Stevens.
Let him be known. Speak for himself. Go to Tallahassee. Be known.
Even with her farm and her animals, the money, Laura says, ended up meaning very little.
There's no amount of money that is worth not having your health or your legs to get around and move.
Now, unlike Laura's case, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office plans to appeal Dontrell Stevens' verdict, so that could prolong his process even longer than what she had to go through. Brian Inton, WPTV News Channel 5.